Alright, hey guys, so you might notice that we're on a yoga mat today, and I have all these objects around me. So if you're wondering why, that's because today we're going to be focusing on the topic of recovery for athletes. So today we're going to be testing out this new mic, and I'm not really sure how it's going to sound, so if it doesn't sound good, just bear with me for a second. From many years of experience as an athlete and also the past year as a triathlete, I think that this topic of recovery is just so important and so easily overlooked even by the top athletes. And I think that's partly because as athletes we often think about and really over focus on our training and trying to train hard, what type of training we do and so on. And I think the topic of recovery just often so easily slips off of our mind. And I'm saying that this is important because over the past year I've had so many injuries, and I'll say that 99% of the injuries could have been easily prevented or at least minimized through better recovery. So in this video I'm gonna talk about some recovery methods and tips that I've incorporated into my training to improve my recovery and also to minimize the impact of those training and injuries. And I think that this is very applicable not just for triathletes but almost anyone doing any sports at all. And even if you're not someone who does sports to compete professionally or to break PBs, I think that this is still very useful for anyone that's doing sports just for the sake of fitness and their health. And so with that said, let's just dive into the first tip. Okay, now number one tip, and also I think the cheapest and easiest way to improve your recovery is to buy some equipments like a foam roller, a massage ball like this, or even a massage gun if you have one. And I have so many of these collected over the years. I also have like those decathlon roller pins that you have. And yeah, I mean, I think that these are so useful because they're really good for targeting certain muscle groups or certain body parts, and you can use these for almost any body part you like. So for example, this ball, I like to use it under my foot after a run. And I think for runners and cyclists, somewhere else that's really important is your hip flexors, which is around here. So you just put the ball or the roller somewhere around here and get on the ground and roll it out. And a good thing about these is that you can put as much pressure or as little pressure as you like depending on how painful and how sore your muscles are. And I think it's just a really easy way to make sure that your muscles are not getting too tensed up and keeping them sort of, relaxed and rolled out. Another thing is a massage gun, which is slightly more expensive, but I do think that it's a good investment, especially if you're someone who travels a lot. For example, I travel a lot for, just traveling like for races or even training, and having one of these is so good because you can just easily pack it in your bag and bring it along. All you have to do is charge it, and you can literally just use it anywhere. You can use it in an airport, you can use it in a hotel, anything. Whereas something like this is going to be a bit more heavier and also physically bigger, so it's going to be a bit more difficult to pack. I'll typically use it almost every day. I try to do it at least once every 2 days. And if you need any specific information on the type of exercises that you can do with these, there's plenty of videos on YouTube and also information on the internet. But of course, in the future, I might also make a couple videos on how I do it for after running and also after cycling, most importantly. So yeah, I think it's just a very easy and free way to improve your recovery and keep your muscles mobile and not tensed up. Okay, so you might notice we're in the kitchen right now, which brings me on to the second point, which is nutrition. And when I talk about nutrition, I'm not just talking about cutting yourself to a certain calories or restricting yourself to a certain diet, but I'm talking about all the nutrition that you need to replenish yourself and also to fuel yourself for your workouts and general health. So first of all, hydration is so important, making sure that you're drinking enough water throughout the day and keeping yourself hydrated for general health. And if you're doing a lot of strenuous exercises, especially if you're like me who lives in a hot country in Singapore, you're going to be sweating a lot, and so you're going to be losing a lot of salt and electrolytes through your sweat as well. So something like a 100 plus active or any other electrolyte tablet out there is just going to benefit you in terms of hydration. Okay, so secondly, and this is something that I only learned recently through triathlon, is the importance of fueling during your exercise and even during your race. So nowadays when I go on races, I'll bring some easily digestible and easy to eat foods like banana, white bread, or even these gels. And the good thing about gels is they're super lightweight, they're very small in terms of packaging, so you can pack a lot of it easily into your pockets or your cycling kit. And they also have a lot of the nutrients that you need during your exercise. For example, this one by Precision Hydration, you have 30 grams of sugar in such a small package, and it also has 100 milligram of caffeine. And you can also get some gels with other things like electrolytes and whatever not. And I just think that it's such an easy way and also a very easily digestible way of fueling yourself during the exercise, so that after your exercise it's easier for your body to recover as well. Okay, and lastly, and this is also something that I learned recently and started researching about, is the importance of micronutrients. Because often when we talk about nutrition, we talk about the macros, so your protein, carbohydrate, and fat. And we often don't really focus on the micros, which is your minerals and your vitamins. And they can be just as important and also easily lost through your sweat and high impact sport like running. So something like vitamin tablets, these Pillar Performance Triple Magnesium Powder, or even these iron tablets would be so easy to just replenish what you lose and also just add on what you need to fuel your body and to recover, especially if you're a runner, because runners tend to get a lot of bone health issues and also low red blood cell issues. And so something like this is just more makes it even more important. Okay, we're back on the mat because I'm going to talk about something that's even easier and cheaper to do than a foam roller, which is stretching. So I think stretching is something that everyone knows we should be doing, but not everyone is doing. In fact, most people I think aren't doing enough stretches. And honestly, myself, I haven't really done a lot of stretches in the past. I used to think it's a waste of time, especially after you do a long ride or a long workout, and all you want to do is head to a shower and carry on with your life. So stretching is really important because, and it's also something that I've been incorporating into my training for the past couple months. I've been stretching at least a little bit after every single workout, and it has really made a huge change because I used to get into so many injuries. I used to get shin splints, knee pains, all sort of tightness around my back and around my hips, and all of that has been relieved or at least minimized through just some basic stretching. And stretching can be very easy. I mean, it's literally free. You can do it everywhere. And it is also so easy and doesn't take as much time as people might think. You can go online and find some 5-minute stretches. That's what I did initially. I went on YouTube or the internet. I just searched up like some easy stretches for runners and cyclists. And I just do a couple stretches as a routine after every single workout. It takes about 5 minutes, but it goes a long way. Okay, now this next one is going to be a bit more specific to endurance athletes. So a couple of days before leading up to my race, I'll usually try my best to stay indoors as much as I can, somewhere that's shielded and away from the hot sun, somewhere that preferably has a fan or even air conditioning if you like. And that's because the hotter your environment is, the more energy and sweat you're naturally going to lose, and that's just going to negatively affect your recovery and even your sleep. And so if you just try to keep yourself cool as much as possible, when you get to the race day, when you get on the start line, you're just going to feel so much more fresh and so much better than the rest. Okay, and that brings me on to my last point of this video, which is using some sort of gel or some sort of recovery method to speed up that recovery. So some people, they have compression socks, compression, like those trousers, I'm not really sure what they're called. But you can also use certain gels and certain like muscle creams to help you improve your recovery process. So personally, I like to use this by Active Lab, and I'm gonna link the link down below in the description. But basically you can use these before workouts or after workouts. Personally, I use them mostly after workouts. It contains ribose, creatine, carnitine, and caffeine, and it's just a really easy way. I mean, all you have to do is apply to your muscles, make sure you rub it in a bit, and you can carry on with your other recovery stretches and whatever not. And it just kind of helps with the recovery and relaxes your muscle a bit. And I've been using it for quite a while now. I use it after all my big workouts, hard workouts. And recently I've been on my base phase as well, which means I've been increasing my volume. And this has really helped me a lot to make sure that I'm able to sleep and get up the next day and my muscles are feeling not completely fresh, but a lot better and able to continue on with the training that I have to do. So yeah, is basically it for this video. Thanks for watching, and if you have any other recovery tips, you can comment it down below in the description. In the comments. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.